Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Dylan Talk Sports. My name is Dylan. In today's video, we have heard some questions within the national media, and even some of the Browns fans have asked this question of what exactly is the run game going to look like within the Cleveland Browns? We have seen this run game blossom over the past 3 years with Nick Chubb. Just basically been hand the ball to Chubb, feed Chubb the ball, feed Nick the ball. But now with Deshaun Watson in here, we have all these weapons: Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore. Donovan Peoples-Jones is looking like a serious threat. David Njoku is becoming a real pass threat and a target for Deshaun Watson. It kind of makes you wonder, where does that leave Nick Chubb and Jerome Ford and any of the running backs? Does the run game just completely disappear from this Cleveland Browns offense? We're going to get into it all. We're going to break it down and chop it up and discuss it. But as always, if you're going to enjoy, drop a like. And without further ado, let's get into it. Now, first things first, what exactly is going on this year? As we all know, coming into this year, they said the big thing they wanted to do with this Cleveland Browns offense was they wanted to make sure this offense was as comfortable as they can make it for Deshaun. Now, how do I mean by that? Deshaun Watson, throughout most of his college career and maybe even high school career, he was kind of made his career off of being in gun and maybe a little bit of pistol. For those of you who do not know, gun is usually maybe like a 4 or 5 yards back from the center. Pistols maybe like 2 or 3 yards. Moral of the story, they want to be already kind of in a position where they are already kind of ready to throw the ball. But the offense that we had for the past couple years, when Baker Mayfield was under there and even Jacoby Brissett was under there, they tried to put those guys under center because they wanted to try to get the run game going. They weren't that elite type of quarterback yet, so they were trying to help them out with the run game, get them going, and then they can feed off the pass game eventually. But in Deshaun Watson's case, he already knows what he's doing when it comes to throwing the ball. So Kevin Stefanski, he's kind of gone on there and he said, okay, everything for under center, tear it up. Everything for gun and pistol, Deshaun, show me in this playbook everything in those formations that you like, and let's do this. Now, where does this hurt Nick Chubb exactly, and even Jerome Ford? If you watch when Nick Chubb runs the ball, he's generally maybe like 10 yards back, just standing there, and whenever they call hut, he's coming charging up, and he almost reminds me, like, he's got that kind of vision of Le'Veon Bell used to where he knows to just kind of be patient, look, wait, see his opening, and go. But if they're going to be running a lot of their offense in gun more of the season, that's going to hurt Nick Chubb a little bit, because when you're in gun, he didn't really run that much out of the gun formations whenever they would go to that. The last few years, when they would switch over to gun, they put Kareem Hunt out there. Now, do I think the Cleveland Browns are going to just completely abandon the run game ultimately? No, they're still going to kind of like sprinkle in a little bit of the run game at times, but I don't think they're going to go full on heavy run game. Like, everybody that always screams last year, and including me, I know, I'll put double hands up, I was that person. I was screaming at the top of my lungs whenever there was times in the game where we were throwing the ball and nothing was happening, but then we would start running the ball, and look what happened. We're moving the chains. And then I know everybody, even if you're on Twitter, you've seen the stat line of where they showed Nick Chubb 20 plus carries a game. We were winning almost every single game. Nick Chubb less than 20 carries a game. Not a single win. But I'm pretty sure we can throw that stat out the window for the fact that we had Jacoby Brissett as the quarterback number one. I guess the moral of the story of all this comes down to, how do I think Nick Chubb will do under the gun? From what he said in his press conferences about whenever they asked him this during the training camp and the whole offseason of, how do you feel about being in gun more? You're going to be running out of the gun. How do you feel about the kind of like the inside zones, the draw plays, the counters, stuff like that is going to probably come more out of the gun. Maybe not the counters, but you get where I'm going with it. And he said he feels confident. He said he knows what he's got to do. He'll run out of any formation they put him in. He's willing to go out there and just help do anything he can to help the team win. Now, I like the confidence, Nick. My problem is, I haven't seen much tape on you running out of the gun. I mean, when you look up most of Nick Chubb's highlights, whether it's in the NFL or in college, it's generally with the quarterback being under center. Now, if I'm wrong, and you can find a video of him doing stuff out of the gun, please, for the love of God, tag me or link the video in the comment section. But now let's move on to the other running back, Jerome Ford. He, on the other hand, has ran out of the gun a little bit. With the way how college football is kind of going right now, people have started to move more towards gun formations in college. Everybody's going to the silent count, the claps. So running backs are more or less going to be on the quarterback's hip, I'd say about 85% of the time within every formation of a college offensive playbook. And Jerome Ford, he seems like he knows what he's doing when it comes to running out of the gun. The thing that scares me is, are they ever going to put Nick Chubb out there when it comes to a third and long passing down? maybe if they wanted to just run a draw play, are they going to put him out there? Because it seems like when it gets to like 3rd and 12, 3rd and 13, we just abandoned Nick and just put Kareem Hunt out there all the time. And the defenses knew we were throwing the ball. Now, I know I say this all the time. It all comes down to Deshaun Watson. Because what can happen this year is Kevin Stefanski, the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, he seems like he knows how to be a creative offensive play caller. There's just times where he gets in his own head. I feel like there's going to be some plays where if he's being creative enough, he can set it up to where he can get like maybe Elijah Moore or Marquise Goodwin coming down like on a jet sweep. And it could be maybe even 4 options. Option 1, the jet sweep, hand it off. Option 2, Nick Chubb comes on like a little stretch or a counter. There's your second option. Option 3, you bootleg around and you could have 2 receivers going out. You could have maybe like Cooper going like on a crosser up and over, and then maybe you could have like Peoples-Jones coming on a crosser the other way, or maybe if you had Goodwin going on the jet sweep, Elijah Moore go up and over, or even reverse it, put Elijah Moore on the jet sweep and put Goodwin out on that just deep crosser, send him out there, maybe he gets open, easy touchdown. I feel like there's going to be a lot of creativity with this offense. It's just going to come down to Kevin Stefanski and Deshaun Watson. If Deshaun Watson is playing his way, but Kevin Stefanski is getting in his own head and he's just being stupid with the play calling, he's going to go. But if Kevin Stefanski is being creative and he's actually putting together some good-ass plays out there, but Deshaun Watson isn't executing them, then the front office is going to be the ones on the hot seat. Overall, moral of the story, I think they will be able to implement the run game pretty well into this offense. It's just not going to be a big focal point of the offseason or of the going forward season offensive game plan. The offensive game plan going into every single game, I feel like is going to be probably like 65% pass, 35% run, which is complete opposite of what they've been in the past, where it was 65% run, 35% pass. But I mean, when you have all these playmakers and, like I said, Cooper, Peoples-Jones, Moore, Goodwin, and Njoku, you kind of, and Deshaun Watson as your quarterback, you have to throw the ball. I'm not saying Deshaun Watson needs to go out there and throw the ball 50, 60 times a game, but he's going to probably be pushing at least 35, 40 throws a game. But other than that, hopefully you guys did go on to enjoy today's video. That's all I got to discuss for this one. If you want to enjoy today's video, as always, it is always appreciated if you drop a like. If you enjoy the video, you enjoy anything about today's video, a like always helps out. If there was anything specific that I missed or a detail that you guys wanted to go ahead and throw in, or anything you thought of that I maybe missed within why the run game might succeed or might not succeed, leave a comment down below. And like I said earlier, if there's highlights of Nick Chubb running out of the gun, please, for the love of God, put that link or YouTube link down in the comments so I can go watch it as well. If you're enjoying the content that I am posting here and you want to go ahead and subscribe, the subscribe button is somewhere right there, and that notification bell is there as well, so you're notified the second I post. But without further ado, this has been Don Talk Sports. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.